Allora, siamo di nuovo collegati. Non so. Ma chi è che l'ha abbassato?
Io quando c'erano i francesi che parlavano.
Siete in diretta,
Ok, perfetto. Andiamo ancora, Andrea, o ci dici tu quando partire?
Il tempo è quello giusto. Quindi...
Volevo fare quell'informativa perché tanto devo switchare in inglese, direi, perché credo che la corsa sia già collegata.
Ok, il Pacà che manca ancora forse? Non lo so.
Abbiamo Xavier Carlios.
Qualcuno si sta legando, aspettiamo ancora un paio di minuti.
5 minuti, facciamo i 35, lo stanno tra poco. Sì, è nostro. No, Francesco Piccioccio. No.
Buongiorno, Raffaella. How are you?
Bonjour. Fine. You?
I'm good, thanks.
Okay, we are about to start because you were waiting for someone to connect. And I guess your colleague from the, Xavier Carlios from the Chamber of Commerce join us as well.
Yep.
Apparently he's not here. He's not here.
He might arrive. He might connect around 2 o'clock, I think.
Okay, so then we start. Yeah.
Yes.
So it's better to start. Maybe we are waiting just for Andrea Puccini to give participants and all of us some technical information on the management from the technical point of view of the webinar of the focus group. Sorry. Then I'll start first introducing the session, and then we will follow with other speakers. The Ligurian ones are here with us, and the others are already connected as well.
Okay, so everybody, some technical information. We planned to interact by chat, but by the moment we are not so numerous, so not so. We can to use the microphone. So at the end of the presentation, if you have some question, you can activate. You can switch on your microphone by clicking on the red label on the right side of your name and make your question.
Okay, indicate the moment when we open, let's say, the question time. And so, first of all, I'd like to thank all of you who are connected today. This is the very first event through the so-called capacity building activity. And so, as you can see here, this capacity building set of activity is decided to accompany the selected companies by FRISTART partners to get an overview of what it means becoming an entrepreneur in their field of activity. Therefore, we follow, and that's the purpose of this first round of activities, the main economic sectors covered by the program, which is the Italy-France Maritime Program supporting this project. And so the first set, as you can see here, is what we call focus groups, meaning that in the coming days, all in a row, from today until Thursday, we will have 1 hour and 30 minutes dedicated to, let's say, a more deepened knowledge on each economic sector involved. So first of all, today is what we call energy efficiency, renewable energy. That's the main sector. And then we will follow, as you will soon see in the calendar, the other three economic sectors. Then we'll skip now, sorry, I don't know who is managing my slide, but I would like to stay in the first one. Yes. Webinars, that's the second round of sessions we will have of accompanying sessions. These will be dedicated to two main topics concerning the business life, which is strategies for internationalization on one side and access to finance on the other. And then we will finish this round of capacity building activity with a series of physical workshops, meaning that each partner in his own region, some of us have already started, will organize a regional workshop covering a particular issue, a particular topic. And I can show you, as it is stated right here in the calendar, the next meeting. So tomorrow it will be dedicated to yachting. The third one, sorry, there is an overlap in the site. I'm sorry for the mistake. We will update it when we will upload in our dedicated channel. But the third group will be on biotech, and the fourth one is on tourism. Then the webinar on strategies to support internationalization will take place on the 22nd of October. Here, pay attention to the timetable, because focus group are all of them gathered in the same time, meaning from 1:30 to 3 p.m., whilst the webinars will run from 4 to 6 p.m., or both of them. So the first one on the 22nd and the second on the 29th of October. For what it concerns the regional workshops, for the moment being, we are still waiting for the partners, the feedback. They are working on it. The first, let's say, fixed meeting is for the Libyan candidates, but of course is open to all other candidates, beneficiaries of FRISTART project to come and join. We on the 6th of November from 4:30 in the afternoon until 6:30. But stay tuned with us, and you will definitely know more about these workshops. So as you will see, as you will listen to the meeting today in 1 hour and 30, we will go through a very short introduction to the topic which is involved today, which is, once again, we repeated, renewable energy in particular. We'll try to have an overview. Our speakers, who can be both project partners and external speakers, on what are the key features and the development strategy for the sector at regional level. And we will close the focus group with a frame, with a general overview of the supporting measures available in each partner region for investments it is today in the renewable energy sectors. Last but not least, even if it's indicated at the very end of the focus group, due to the focus group itself, so when we finish this first round of key features and development strategies, we will leave you the floor to raise questions. Andrea was telling you before, you will be able to do it by voice, not by chat, so that will be maybe quicker to get your question posed and then answered by the relevant speakers. So, my name is Raffaella Bruzzone. I've got here as well my colleague Claudia Magliaguagno. Then I will present you the other speakers who are already with us, and you can hear. So, just to give you the context for what it concerns renewable energy, maybe many of you, of course, who are working in the field know what it is about, but it's everything which takes into consideration what can be renewed. They replenish or renew themselves naturally. So typically refer to wind, solar energy, and biomass. But you can see from these very short screenshots what is mainly identified as renewable energy sources. So on one side, non-combustible renewables, which takes into consideration hydropower, tide, wave, and ocean energy, geothermal energy, wind energy, and solar energy, and combustible renewables. We can find biofuels, in particular fuel from biomass, or renewable municipal waste. As you will see, or maybe listen from the presentations that will follow this introduction, you read that European Union pays quite a particular attention also to municipal waste and how they can generate new sources in the field of energy. Just to mention where we are working, and you as entrepreneur must be aware of that. Of course, we are in the broad context of the European Union strategy, and in particular, the first round, targeting 2020, has got as a main features to have a binding target of 20% coming from renewable sources by 2020, indeed, and we have already seen quite a good level of success in achieving these results, because from recent reports carried out in 2017, 2018, we can see that first for the last available year, 2016, shows a 17% reached in terms of energy consumed being gathered by renewable energy, with the target of 2020, the 2020 target set at 20%. The other parameter which the European Union has set in this field is also the share of energy used in transport activities from renewable sources, which has almost tripled in 10 years' time. And now we are at 7.1, whilst the target in 2020 should be 10%. So we gave these figures just by chance, but as you'll listen afterwards, when you will be maybe in the position to present a project and to bid for European funded program, you must take into consideration what are the major objectives set by the European Union. Therefore, trying to understand and to motivate how your project can contribute actively to reach that objective. So it is important to understand this legislative and political framework. And to this extent, it's quite good to take into consideration what is the new target for 2030. Because, as you know, the European Union, the European Commission is managing its interventions on a scale of time, so meaning more or less it's 7 years time as a general framework of programming period. And so there has been a political agreement in June this year where the renewable energy target for European Union for 2030 has been set at 32%, with also for an upwards revision also by 2023. So they are consistently and continuously increasing the role of renewable energy in the renewable energy scenario. So it's important for you to take as entrepreneur belonging to this sector, it's quite important to understand that there is a growing attention to this field. What you'll see, and maybe afterwards you can even more easily go through this table, we have tried to just to give a general context. That's the global report issued by the Frankfurt School for the United Nations Centers very recently, in May this year, gives an overview of the trend from 2004 up to recent times in terms of investments in the renewable energy sector. And it's quite interesting to see also the attention which has been paid by technological developments and also by sources of funding, alternative sources of funding in the field, because you can check figures on venture capitalists, on government research and development sources, and also on corporate R&D. And at the very end, on the fourth line, the new investment per sector, you can see that the solar energy is one which is constantly growing in terms of investment. So that's a trend which has been monitored across the world, not only European Union, but also, as you can see in the last round of figures, it is the trend of investment is defined by macro geographical area. So take your time maybe to go through if you're interested in that. And this figure witnesses what has just been commented. So solar and wind, even if transient and trends are being the most invested sectors in renewable energies, but maybe there are others who still have to be developed, like it is, for instance, in our case, what concerns biomass or biofuels, is still a market and niche to be developed. So just to go from the general to the more peculiar, when we are talking about renewable energy in the maritime program, this is what we see under the traditional related sectors and the emerging related sectors. So for this program, in the traditional related sectors, we can identify agri-food and agroforestry sectors as well, pharmaceuticals and chemistry, while in the emerging related sectors, there are exploitation of marine energies, smart grids, and stocking systems in order to make the system more effective. So that's the range, the broad range of activities we are covering with projects funded by this program. I don't want to take it any longer, just to give you an overview as well of the active companies in the field of renewable energy, blue and green, in the maritime area. As you can see, of course, that's the number of companies, of active companies per region. So, of course, Tuscany is a big region and therefore has relevant and consistent numbers, but more or less there is quite an homogeneity, or in any case, an homogeneous trend in the three remaining sectors. Of course, it is a small dimension, but it has a relevant number of active companies in this sector. So we do hope that you will have also the opportunity to grow in this field and to play an active role in this area as well. So that's for the, I would say, the introduction. What we have, of course, if you have any comments or we can keep it until the very first round of intervention. So now we'll go through a more detailed presentation of what's going on in the participating regions in these projects. So if we don't mind, we start with our region from Liguria. I've got here with me a colleague, Mrs. Mozza, from the Regional Energy, Agency for Energy. And just some technical moments to switch the presentation. Andrea, seguimi se per caso faccio errori, perché devo modificare la slide. Sorry for this Italian short break, just some technical. Got some problems also in the mouse. Claudia, non mi funziona neanche il mouse. Sorry, just some problems with the mouse, which of course has up and down, but no, era peggio. Okay, so it should be. Oh, yes, we are. I that you can see. So Well, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Morning. From my side, just a brief introduction on the regional energy plan. So the regional policies in Liguria on renewable energies and energy efficiency. As Raffaele already mentioned, there are European objectives on the reduction of greenhouse gases emissions, on renewable energy sources and energy efficiency. There is a roadmap to 2050 and a strategy to 2020. From these European objectives came out some national objectives, especially the National Renewable Energy Action Plan set up an objective of 17% increase in the renewables and 10% in transport, in renewable energy in transport, then a reduction in energy consumption. From the national objectives, in Italy happened something different from other countries. The Ministry of the Economic Development decided to set up a national decree, the so-called burden sharing decree, that sets up objectives for each region in Italy to be achieved by 2020. In particular, for Liguria, there is an objective of 14.1% to be achieved by 2020 for final energy consumption from renewable energy sources related to the gross final. It is important to provide on a national level because this is the starting point for the regional energy planning in Italy and in Liguria. We started in 2013 the process to develop the regional energy plan. It was a complex process of approval, and in November 2017, the Regional Council approved the new regional energy plan. The main objectives of this plan are first of all to fulfill the requirements of the burden sharing decree, then to define objectives and priorities for the European Regional Development Fund, and then to improve the quality of life of the citizens and the competitiveness of the small and medium enterprises in the region. These are the general objectives of the regional energy policy. There is an holistic approach in regional energy planning. The Liguria region intends to coordinate the energy policies with the other regional plans, so research and innovation, training, environmental issues, and development of rural areas, for example. Of the regional energy plan respects this graph, this figure. There is the general strategy that I described before. Then there are some macro objectives, sharing, economic development, and communication. From these objectives, there are general objectives that to implement the bearing and economic development and the communication. And then we have key orientations. To achieve the key orientation, there are actions and targets per source and per sectors. The general overview of the specific objectives and orientation of the regional energy plan in Liguria. I will not describe each of these orientations because they're too much, and you can have a look afterwards by yourself, but I would like to focus that the main pillars of the regional energy strategy are the renewable energy sources and the energy efficiency. These are the two priorities for our region to be implemented in the next years. And then these two pillars are to be achieved also with some transversal actions in supporting the green economy sector and the energy efficiency and the enterprises operating in the energy efficiency and energy savings sector. We have some transversal measures for communication activities, so awareness of citizens and involve the energy stakeholders both in the preparation stage of the plan, but also in the implementation stage of the plan. It's important to have this transversal approach to the implementation of the energy policies in Liguria. There are numbers connected to these regional policies. We have numbers to reduce the gross final energy consumption, so a reduction in the final energy consumption in Liguria. You can have a look at this slide. There is the comparison between the scenario of the regional energy plan and the scenario of the business as usual situation at 2020. We see that we must implement a reduction of 332 kilotons of oil equivalent in final energy consumption by 2020. And we have very important objectives also in renewable energy sources. So there is the comparison between the situation in 2012 and in 2020 scenario. The increment in the sources in our territory, and specifically we have a great implementation of photovoltaic systems, but there's an increase also in the wind energy and in biomass. These are scenarios to 2020. But it's also to be aware that implementing these policies means also to create good impacts for our. Sorry, just a moment.
Sorry, we have a screen popping up on our.
There are good impacts on our territory and for the people living in our territory. So there is implementing this objective for Liguria means a reduction of energy costs also for enterprises and for citizens. It means economical development, employment in the energy sector, and safeguard our local territory. How to achieve these good impacts in actions? So a specific measure in regional program. Then we have the simplification of our authorization procedures and regional law to be issued. For example, we want also to support the projects and initiatives in the field of research and innovation, and encourage access to European and national financial tools. But this, my colleague Michela Fossa will explain much more later on. Especially as far as the funds is regarded, that European Regional Development Funds 2020 has some priority areas, and one of these is the low carbon economy. The regional operational program in Liguria was approved by the European Commission in 2015 and has identifies some priority areas for financing enterprises and public administrations on this of the European Regional Development Fund. We have 5 thematic objectives in our regional program, and one of these is the thematic objective number 4, sustainable energy and life quality. That this axis, number 4, aim to promote innovative technology, increase energy efficiency, reduce polluting emissions. These are the general objectives. Main interventions that will be financed. At the moment, there is not a specific fund for it, but it's planned to be issued in the next year, we hope. There is the reduction of the energy consumption in productive areas, in small, medium enterprises, and in public properties, in buildings and facilities. And renewable energy sources are included as far as they are used for self-consumption. So in this kind of strategic assets, will not be financed a big wind farm, but interventions that are aimed to reduce the consumption of the single enterprises or of the public administration, for example. For your attention, I will give the floor to Rafael again.
Okay. Many thanks to our colleagues for her intervention. We continue the round of presentations of regional level, and I would say maybe Andrea, you could follow also from a geographical point of view. Would you like to make a short presentation of the cluster in your region, what's going on, economic sectors involved?
Okay, so I can try to give you, sorry, I'm changing
The technical
screen in order, yeah. Okay, so.
And then we can say hello, I guess, to the colleague from the Chamber of Commerce of Nice, because I guess he has joined the focus group.
Hello.
Okay, hello. Hey, nice to hear from you. Maybe if you are willing to, after the intervention of Andrea, we can give you the floor.
Perfetto.
Grazie.
Okay, so we can. So I apologize because I tried to involve some of the district, the technological district, about energy of the Tuscany region, but they're all busy and they can't attend this meeting. So to give you a picture of what is in Tuscany, what is the activities of the technological district about energy and green economy. Okay. This is you know, Regione Toscana made in 16 12 the technological district. One of them is about energy. But are these technological districts? They are, let's say, organized grouping of economical operators, both from public and private sectors, say small and medium enterprises, research entities, and so on. They operate in order to promote and spread information, sharing instruction and knowledge. They use to this goal. They use the technological transfer of research activities. this is, let's say, the website of the Distretto Tecnologico, the technological district in Tuscany. You can find more accurate information. Each of these districts developed a strategic operational plan to prove what they have to do in order to achieve their goals. The district selected these 5 areas of intervention. One is about introduction of new energetic vectors. Area 2 is about of electrical vectors and consequently a reduction of CO2 in the related. The area 3 of intervention is about a direct reduction of CO2 footprint. 4 is about improvement of energy production from renewables. 5 is about interconnection of different energetic systems. I try to a little detail of what they mean. Introduction of new energetic vectors is about in English is liquid natural gas. So they use the natural gas as a vector, as energetic vectors, which allowed more freedom about marketing and more issues about related to safety. Something about also the that GNL can be used for the mobility sector. 2, so the implementation of the electric vectors is made use, but they try to in domestic and mobility and in industrial production. Implement of renewable sources is to use this technological touch, so research and development hybrid systems of production and storage. Of the most developed sources in Tuscany is the geothermal source. And so the district have a particular focus on this theme. 4 is about the interconnection of systems. So we can achieve benefits from the connection of different grids. Let's say electrical grids and gas, electrical grids and thermal systems, and so also with the hydraulic and electrical systems. The interaction with different districts also is one important issue, because you can try to make a more appropriate use of energy by studying or applying to hybrid propulsion in the yachting, let's say, more than the railways and so on. Logic grids for alternative energy vectors like GNL, as already said, and the teams related to smart cities. And one is that the of energetic consumption up to intelligent factories. Let's say the operational objectives of the district are these 4, and related to technological transfer, so forecasting, foresight, technological foresight, forecasting, improvement of relationship, business matching, and so on with the small and medium enterprise of the production chain of Tuscany, of know-how, so the validation of know-how to make on the competencies of the medium enterprise, and then not the least is the finance research for innovation. So here you can contact for the persons or in COSBIG. COSBIG is the company that is the leader of the district. And if you have some question, you can try to contact this address. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Andrea, for this presentation. We repeated once again, all the supporting documents will be made available on our communication channel, the official communication of the project. So every participant will get the link soon in order to retrieve the presentations made by speakers. So we were commenting before, I would like to invite Xavier from the Chamber of Commerce of Nice, and then it will be the round of the colleague from course. So Paul-François, it will be the one closing this first round, and then we will open the question session. Okay, Xavier, I don't know if you have presentations of your own or if you just make a general introduction to the economic sector in your region.
Ciao a tutti. Yeah, sorry for being late, and sorry also because I don't have no presentation since June.
Your camera, maybe just to see you.
Can you see me?
Not for the moment being, but
I guess
yeah.
you should. So, few words first of all about the Chamber of Commerce and Industry of the French Riviera, which include all the Alpes-Maritime departments. And of course, if you have any questions, do not hesitate to interrupt me and to ask me if I'm not in line with what you expect from this presentation. I'm the energy sector manager of the French Riviera Chamber of Commerce and Industry. But about the overall chamber and what we do. So we have three main missions, which are to rule buildings, so to say, including ports and airports. We also develop education side, and we support the development of enterprises, including startups. Part of this support is based on different field of development, from the creation of the structure to this one, but doing also the different steps of this enterprise, including the business development, the international development, but also IP side, the social side, how to educate your collaborators, and also how to work on your energy management. For example, can facilitate the creation of job and business between the demand side of all the enterprises of the department, and on the other side, with prices that I represent from the local side that could possibly provide energy services or any manufacturing in this sector. If you have questions, again, don't hesitate to ask. So about the economy, we have done a study last year about the eco enterprises, that is enterprises involved in water, construction, energy, risks, and so on. And we have evaluated the number to more than 600 enterprises, eco enterprises, which is more than 7,000 jobs in the department. If I have a more specific focus on energy field, from those 600 companies, 300 are involved in one or several energy domains. So we have divided energy in 12 domains, so I won't list all those, but those 300 enterprises are quite well developed in those 12 domains. Those 100 companies represent more than 4,000 jobs, about 1 billion euro of yep, that's it, with the figures. Most of them are small companies, so them like 20% maybe have less than 20 employees, and they have quite the potential business activities. So it means that 20% of the market is abroad, international, only 30% is local. Here the context of the energy or the economic energy context of the department. We high real estate prices. That we have low energy price. Tenants are really low majority. Point is that most of the enterprises aren't aware of what they could do regarding energy efficiency or about renewable energy. So based on 4 criteria, we have not a lot of interest of energy enterprises of any sector, as the tourism industry and so on, about energy efficiency measures. So it's a lot of work to do to try to gain the interest of those enterprises, and that is done by my colleague regarding the support and the development of energy opportunity within the locally enterprises. That text. One other motivation for the Chamber of Commerce and Industry to develop activity on energy is that very low capacity of production is already existing in the department. So we have 10% of the energy that we consume only that is produced locally, and on all those 100% of consumption, 50% is consumed enterprises. So that's a good reason for us to try to develop sensibilization and information actions on energy. That's it about the context. And the other thing is that the power grid is not so strong and robust in the since we have a little connection to Italy. Otherwise, we are, the department is almost a peninsula. So we can also, on the other side, have, and we already have different answers that are provided by the Chamber of Commerce, but also by the other institutions that facilitate the energy activities for the enterprises of this sector. For example, there is the Flex Grid project. So if you that one, and if you're interested, I can give you for further detail afterwards. Flex Grid is supported by the region. The purpose of Flex Grid is to industrialize the smart grids and facilitate smart grid projects. You are all familiar with smart grids, but I can also develop. But again, don't hesitate to ask if you need more detail. But so yep, the Flex Grid project is a different smart grid project. It's not. It doesn't provide subsidy, but it facilitates the access to subsidies. So it's kind of label for the enterprise and projects. That's support. There are many others, but there's another that I would like to mention, which is really in our department, in just in the west side of Nice. If you're familiar with the area, we have this Nice Eco Valley area, which is supported by an opération d'intérêt national, which would be a national operation of interest, which try to support sustainable development aspects of buildings in this management and management area. We have more sustainable development criteria in the creation of activities, including again aspects, and of course renewable energy systems and so on. So main support within the area that could be of interest for you and which could facilitate energy activities. More the context, and for you to know, based on this need we have, I have presented just before, we have tried to facilitate the deployment of energy activities, and we had a study in 2012 or so about or to understand the reason why we didn't have this much energy activities and energy projects in the region, and there were two barriers that we have identified. The first, the lack of financial capacities, and the other one, the efficiency of measures that were deployed. So we have put up an experimentation between 2015 and 2017, with two purposes. The one was to implement development measures to invest in energy efficiency capacities, so to include in those projects some efficiency capacity measures. So we have tried to develop the link between the demand and the offer side, and we've seen that it was not enough. Even the Chamber of Commerce was trying to make the link. We've seen that it was not the main barrier to the amount of energy efficiency measures. The main thing we have seen as missing for those kind of measures was a better understanding of the potential realization that client could expect from the energy efficiency action from one side, and the other thing was to be aware of the exist solutions that were developed locally. So to say, there is a lack of well known of the demand and the offer. We try now to develop even more. Regarding the offer side, to try to facilitate their action, we have done several things that we keep going and keep doing. First of all, we try to gather different realities that could be of replicable, could be of interest for industrial and other economical actors of the sector, of actually, but related to energy. Those realizations, of course, are mostly done by the local energy actors. We try to gather those realizations and to showcase them to their potential client. That's the first thing that we try to do. Then we have done a repertoire of the local energy actors to facilitate the link and B2B relations, and to showcase those local actors. Yep.
Xavier, because we have to keep track of time, and time is running quite fast. So it's very precious what you have exchanged with us, and I was just asking whether you plan to send maybe a short presentation of what you have just described in order to allow participants to retrieve the information you shared with us by voice, and it's easier for them maybe to then to understand more in detail whom to contact or whether to come back to you with further questions, because otherwise we risk not to have the time available for the other interventions. And
I guess you can understand French, so
yes.
I guess you don't mind?
Yeah. The participants are both Italians and French. So the official languages indeed are French and Italian in the program, but we have chosen English for this round of session because it's a language which allows all participants to understand each other. But in any case, feel free to send it in French so that we can stock with the other presentations. We can start with the other presentations. But in any case, if you can, don't leave the session so far. I mean, we just give the for you to your colleague from course, Paul Francois, and then we allow participants to raise questions. We already have some.
Okay. That's
okay.
Yep.
Thanks a lot. Paul Francois, if you can hear us, I guess that you can take the floor and tell us what's going on in Corsica Island.
Hello, everybody. So, as far as the Derby, I'm working at the Corsican Economic Development Agency. It's a public entity in charge of designing and operating the economic policy on behalf of the Corsican region. Sorry, I haven't a PowerPoint or a presentation because I didn't know I had to provide the program with, but perhaps my colleague in Nice could give it perhaps in a few days. I'll start with a big picture, a big overview about energy in Corsica, and I thought it was very specific on the grid, electrical grid features. So sorry, I have narrowed to that aspect, and I have the figures from assessment from 2014 about the grid and electricity production in Corsica. And I wanted to present you the three big pillars of this production and consumption. And here is the breakdown. Solar is based on conventional regular means with carbon, I mean oil and gas plants, providing the grid with 38% of its capability. The pillar is based on electricity, on an electricity supply with a submarine wire coming from Toscana and coming from Italy to Corsica, and the third pillar is renewables. And when we are talking about renewables, we're talking about hydroelectric means. And after, in a second source is solar panels. just to present you that from grid point of view, the renewables are a big to drive the Corsican grid with energy. What is at stake? What are the big issues regarding energy? I am the first speaker speaking from an island, and in French context, I think everywhere in the world the problem is quite the same. Production cost of energy is higher than the production cost in what we could call mainland. For instance, the French mainland, because the grid is benefiting from nuclear plants and its low production cost. In case, the cost of production is very, very high. That means that experiment and test and develop solutions in Corsica and in other islands too that are not profitable overseas. That is a very important thing. And island territories could be seen as where experiment tests could be performed even if some technologies are not profitable inland. That's a big second idea of this perimeter and the fact that we are on island is that growth and rising the part of the amount of renewables in the grid has impact ring stability of the grid. We don't have the same stability as a big grid with nuclear plants, nuclear power, and every renewable that is added into the grid could lead to a big shortage of the stability of the network. So we developed here in Corsica and in other islands capacity of storage, of stocking systems, batteries, for instance, but even other kinds of storage. This is a big idea for isolated lands. It has been presented for other regions. We have added in 2013 energy policy with a big goal to be an energy self-sufficient region in 2050. It's a very big goal, and we have this called FRCAE, and we have a roadmap leading to a milestone by 2023, which is called PE, pre-annual projection of investment for the energy, I would say, with several leverages to match first milestone in 2023. And the leverages are mainly for 2/3 of the effort around energy consumption reduction. That means there is a forecast to have a big raise about 200% gains of energy efficiency. And secondly, for 1/3 of the effort, we shift development of renewables. First of all, is a first raise of around 150% of stable renewables with storage, like big hydroelectricity, biomass, and a raise of 38% of intermittent renewables, solar without storage, thermal solar, wind without storage. So that's the big picture of what the grid is working right now. What are the big objectives by 2050 and the first milestone by 2023.
Okay, thanks a lot for François for your introduction to the context. We will be waiting, of course, for a couple of slides from you as well. You can do it in French, I guess, or in English as you prefer. In any case, we will make them available to the audience. Without sparing too much time, I would like to give the floor to participants if they feel there's some questions or doubts on what has been, even if very briefly, explained to them. So we have the chance also to ask them by voice, not without typing them. So if there is anybody interested in raising questions, that's the moment to do it. Otherwise, just for organizational aspects, I will leave the floor if maybe Paul François would like to add something from, I would say, the financial support at regional level. We can just, just be prepared that I can give you the, or shortly afterwards, if we have some questions, we are waiting for them. Otherwise, I will start first with you, and then we'll go around through the other speakers for the specifications, and indeed for Sardinia in particular, we'll start immediately afterwards. So is anybody who is interested in asking questions? I ask Claudia as well if there is any chat coming up, just in case. To give seconds more, if by chance someone is thinking about what you ask, I would like to stress, maybe it hasn't been done at the beginning, but to stress one of the main objectives of this project is to also create collaboration schemes among the partner regions and the companies or the willing to be companies that have been selected. So as also Xavier was commenting before, there is still need to grow in cross-border cooperation amongst our regions, and this project is indeed working to this extent. So try to put in relations the participating companies of this project amongst themselves, so that they can share experiences and needs, and therefore also maybe try to find some synergies in pushing forward their entrepreneurial projects. Of course, as you are aware of, we are planning the major event under the FRISTART competition, which will be the FRISTART Summit in Sassari next 15th and 16th of November. So that will be also the first chance for the 50 beneficiaries to meet, to come up and meet together. So since I don't see any questions coming, I would like to thank, of course, the first round of inventions, because some of them, at least my colleague here, Silvia Moggia, is leaving us because there will be another colleague intervening immediately afterwards. For those who are staying, of course, we will continue this conversation. And so I would like to invite Paul François once again, maybe to give some, in a very short way, because we are running out of time, some ideas, some information on potential support schemes.
Thanks very much. I want to add something, but the first time I spoke, I wanted to be very short because I thought it was in strict. I had a strict deadline. Just related to the strategy and the milestone in by 2023, we have economic forecast regarding revenue and workforce, and the forecast is that BAS is going to weigh around 8 million euros by 2023. 2023 with around 50 full-time equivalent to support the production and 100 to 200 people, full-time equivalent to support the wood supply. The first weight for just if we want to focus on biomass. Wind, around solar activity, solar panels, the forecast is about 30 million euros and around 50 full-time equivalent to run the facilities and the solar field. If we compute an overall assessment of all the working force, I could say that it has been forecasted around 200 to 300 full-time equivalent people to run this equipment, based on the private sector. Supporting measures, as you asked the questions, in the French context, the legal framework for business models in Ireland and now is to sell electricity to the grid. And this thing is based on two processes. The first process is over the counter. This is electricity regulation commission to fix price, and then this price going to be the price for the next 10 and 20 years. And a second process is to bid for an open tendering procedure, then the public request for proposal to select a company. So we can see that policy is designed by local authorities and regions, but the supporting measures are at a national notch, I would say. Now, that's very important to understand that thing.
Maybe also in the supporting document you will send to us, if you can retrieve some information also on the ERF support schemes or another course public funding for willing to be entrepreneurs in the field. That could be very helpful to make the comprehensive picture also for your region.
Mm-hmm. And your first question, you talk about partnership and so on, and overseas internationalization. In my opinion, I think that would be interesting to develop a partnership with a local firm there to bring technology, perhaps around battery and storage and storing systems, and to develop a partnership with a local already running business there to benefit from its networks and its knowledge of the economic context. That, I think that could be very interesting to develop new businesses in course.
Okay. Thanks a lot for the moment being. If you can stay with us until the end, just by chance there will be some questions you may be able to answer. So just staying in the island context, I would like to invite my colleague Marcella Della Cia from Sardegna Ricerche, which to give presentations of what they make available to support the growth, the creation of companies in the region. Am I there?
Sorry if I don't see any more in the list of participants.
There has been some technical problems. Maybe. In the mean, whilst we're trying to maybe to contact her, I will ask once again, Xavier, if you're still connected, would you like maybe to add something to what you presented so far from the PACA region into funds or supporting schemes?
Well, I don't know about those. That is not a question, but above or beyond the region, possible subsidies you can expect, I can already tell that there are many networks, existing networks, that can facilitate the implementation of any energy and crisis deal. So you should.
You quite badly, I mean, in a low voice.
Okay, once again, so
Maybe better.
You have for the creation of any activities locally, the Chamber of Commerce and Industry can help and support regarding the project. So I can help and try to put you in touch with the correct person if necessary and if asked. And of that, there's also to facilitate your introduction in the area and the sector. There are many networks, existing networks, and manifestation that can put you with the different energy actors. And I'll send you my presentation with two examples, and I'll also send you a link to an existing newsletter that is hosted by the Chamber of Commerce and Industry, NecoBiz. On that one, you'll have an agenda and also existing lists of actors. Of course, in French, but if you have the French sector and more specifically this local sector, I guess you will have to speak French, so that will not be a barrier for you.
So we are
available to any other questions. So, sorry.
Yes. Okay. We're waiting for this information on the documentation you will send to us, and in case the beneficiaries of the project may have questions to raise for any support concerning, funding lines or funding schemes in your region, we will signpost them to you, to the chamber, as we do it here at local level, to get the right persons addressed to.
Okay.
So I don't know whether Andrea, you would like to comment something else for what concerns Tuscany from the ERDF point of view, or if we skip to the presentation of my colleague of Regione Liguria, who indeed make, I would say, a general presentation of a cross-cutting program, because we asked her to give a presentation also the Horizon 2020 for program on research and innovation related to the energy sector, so that we of interest for all participants. But just in case if you have something to add on your regional schemes.
Okay, no, indeed not, because we had in Tuscany some support to financing the activities in the energy field, but they are all closed at the moment. They are closed in the February-April period of this year, but at the moment we haven't yet reopened.
Okay, so just as I was introducing to you, we have thought to leave it for the final intervention because it is a cross-cutting issue. So she will go through the H2020 framework program. So I will leave to Michela for presentation.
Thank you.
We just share the presentations. Just some questions. Can you?
Yeah. Hello everyone, my name is Michela Fossa. I work for IRES
Energy Department, and today I'm here to give you a very quick, this point, overview about the opportunities offered by Horizon 2020. Horizon 2020 is the European Union Framework Program for Research and Innovation for the years 2014 and 2020. It's a very big program made up of hundreds of calls, and it is worth and provides funding for about 80 billion euros for the years 2014-2020. It's a very innovative program which presents a lot of new features compared to the past programs that were available before 2014. It's first of all, it's a single program bringing together three separate programs that were available before. Second new feature is that it couples research to innovation. Third new feature is that there is a special focus on societal challenges facing EU society about health, energy, transport, and environment in general. And the fourth new feature is that it offers simplified access for companies, universities, and applicants in general. In particular, the rules are really very simple. And another element that is of interest for Horizon 2020 is that it encourages strong participation by small and medium enterprises. And it makes up for about 20% of the total budget available is dedicated to SMEs. Horizon 2020, as I said before, is a very big encompassing program, and it's divided into three pillars that are excellent science, industrial leadership, and social challenges. The one we are interested in today is the societal challenges one. And why? Because why this pillar? Because it is believed that EU policy objectives, climate, environment, energy, transport, cannot be achieved without innovation and without the testing and demonstration of new solutions. So that's why societal challenges pillar was made. This pillar is organized into many calls, and these calls are grouped around some focus areas, which are ones you can see in the screen. The one we are interested in today is the focus area, which is called Secure, Clean, and Efficient Energy, which corresponds to a work program, which is called Secure, Clean, and Efficient Energy for the years 2018 and 2020. Again, it's a quite big work program made up of many different calls, organized around 6 focus areas, which are the ones you can see on screen. And the 6 focus areas are energy efficiency, global leadership in renewables, smart clean energy for consumers, smart citizen-centered energy system, smart cities and communities, and near zero CO2 emissions. As I said, many calls. I won't go each one of them in detail because, of course, we don't have the time for that. I'll just say that the energy efficiency focus area is made up of many calls. Just for your here, I put on the ones that are available in 2019, so for the year to come, there are many more. And I'm going through all of them, just to say that there are calls in this section. There are calls to upgrade the energy performance of buildings, calls to encourage energy efficient industries and services, calls to reinforce the idea of energy efficiency as an investment and of energy efficiency as an energy source, and the calls to support policy-driven innovation. Then there is the focus on global leadership in renewables, which I think is the one you are mostly interested in. And this focus area has about 4 lines of intervention, and they're the ones you can see: breakthrough technology development, renewable energy solutions for implementation at consumer scale, renewable energy solutions for implementation at the energy system level, and renewable fuels for transport. Again, I selected the ones that are available in 2019, and they are the ones you can see. I won't go through each one of them, but I will tell you how to find them at the end of the presentation. Then there is the smart and clean energy for consumers focus area, which is aimed at changing the behavior of consumers toward energy. 2019, there are these two goals: mitigate household energy poverty, and the other one which you can see. There is another focus area which is smart citizen-centered energy system, and this focus is to prepare ground for a EU energy system centered around citizens. There is the most famous call of this work program, which is the one about smart cities and communities, and it's the one that all cities who want to become smart ought to apply to. And by smart, we mean sustainable cities who fully integrate all aspects of urban life, from ICT, transport, energy, environment, and so on. And the last section, we have the last focus area is the one about near zero CO2 emissions, and these are the goals available for 2019. So to sum it up, as you have seen, there are many opportunities in Horizon 2020 and in this work program in particular. The goals are very competitive, and so proposals have to be highly innovative, but it can be done. There's a lot of opportunities for especially small and medium enterprises to take part in these calls, to partners in consortiums. Also, for example, for the smart cities communities call, there is always need for industry and SMEs to support cities in this particular call. And also in the global leadership in renewables, which is the one we are interested in. Again, there are many good opportunities. If you want to have a look at the work program site, you just go on the Horizon 2020 official website, which is called Participant Portal. You just Google Participant Portal and it will take you there. And look for clean and efficient energy work program for all details on the single calls, the deadlines, and so on. Thanks very much. Good luck with the application.
Okay.
Thank you for this presentation. Even if it's very short, for Horizon 2020, it would be maybe 1 week, not even enough. But in any case, just to give you some reference points, then in any case, all partners, so every partner in your region can be of help for you to assist you in the presentation if interested under these calls for proposals. We have, I guess, here again with us Marcella Della Via, so I would like to give her the floor to make the presentation of the supporting schemes at regional level for Sardinia region. Marcella, can you hear us?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, can you, so the floor is yours. Can you upload your presentation?
So everybody, and the idea is to have a short presentation about what we call a Sportello startup. Sorry, 1 minute. Okay, fine. I work in Sardegna Ricerche, which is a regional agency in Sardinia, and the main objective, the main mission of Sardegna Ricerche is to support the regional government in R&D policy. So So I have some technical problems.
You can't scroll the slides, you mean?
Queste le frecce. Le frecce della tastiera.
I can't.
Would you have to upload it, maybe? I don't know, Andrea, se vuoi provare a metterla su tu, lo faccio io.
Okay, maybe it's better because I think I have
Andrea, puoi dare a me la presentazione che provo a metterla?
Sì, c'hai tanti file.
Ah.
Non so.
No, io la presentazione, no, scusami, la presentazione di Marella ce l'ho. Mi chiedevo se ho già l'abilitazione a dividerlo, se lo vedete.
It's working now. Forse funziona, proviamo un po'.
Funziona, però non lo so. Io vado.
Proviamo. That's right. So, as you can see, sorry for that. Sardegna Ricerche is a regional agency working on several topics. The main focus is to support the development of R&D policies at regional level. So the first mission is to promote and develop the Science and Technology Park of Sardinia, to develop some programs aimed at innovation and innovate productive systems here, to support technology transfer actions between research centers and companies, to support develop R&D policies at regional level, and to favor the creation and development of new and innovative enterprises. With this aim, a desk was created, an ad hoc desk called Startup Desk, Sportello Startup, and the aim is to have personalized and dedicated support to all those people and companies having innovative ideas. So from the business idea a person has, the support of this desk goes from creation of the innovative startup and through the development across the years. So as you can see from this graph, the idea is to cover the whole process from the business idea and through the validation process and the company growth. But how to do that? So we have set up some programs, each one for a specific step of the company creation and growth. So we are going to talk about the two main instruments that you can see in this slide. So the first one is called Insight, and it's thought to wannabe entrepreneurs, innovative ideas. So here the intervention goes from the business idea and until the company set up. Second instrument is thought for already existing companies with innovative ideas, with innovation behind, and it's called voucher startup. Its specific aim is to allow the validation of the business model and to see if it's scalable. The third instrument, we are not going to talk about it today, as it's thought for bigger companies and already existing companies. The first one is called Insight from Idea to Business Model. It's an instrument thought for groups of people having a business idea with innovation behind it. It could be product innovation or process innovation or service innovation. And the idea here is to support the group of people from the business idea and until companies set up with a voucher of 10,000 euros. Could cover some cost categories, let's say, from the test and realization of a minimum viable product, and all those activities that could allow the group of people validate their ideas. So here are people applying to have 10,000 euros. The company is not yet funded. Here you have a list of the ideas funded so far. So the call is still open and until December this year. So as you can see, the main part of them are ICT ideas applied to specific sectors, specific fields. Going forward, we are going to talk about the second instrument, which is called Startup Voucher, and it's thought to already existing companies funded age of not more than 3 years old. And the idea here is to allow the company to update and replicate the idea. So see if that's feasible, if there's a market of it. So this is also still open and until December this year, with the possibility to apply online through a dedicated platform. The maximum amount is 100,000 euros of state aid, up to a maximum percentage of 90%, depending on the innovative idea and social impact behind the application, let's say. So with different criteria used to evaluate the application is available through a platform from our website, so everybody can still apply on it. Here are also some beneficiaries of the startup voucher. I'd also like to add something, as we are talking about energy as a thematic area. I'd like to say that within our Science and Technology Park, we have a dedicated platform which is called Piattaforma Energie Rinnovabili, so renewable energy platform, with a dedicated set of services available to companies, where companies can also access the laboratories we have. This is also open to everybody. And as we are talking within an Interreg project, I'd like to say we also have another project ongoing. It's called RETIC. We are developing some living labs for energy and, let's say, energy ideas of future companies. So they are also ongoing, but the call has just closed. So for any information, you can get in touch with me. Thank you.
Thanks, Marcella, for your intervention. Your slide will be, of course, available for all participants, and I guess we will soon have a chance, in any case, to go through the presentation also for other focus groups, so that every group of beneficiaries under the FRISTART project can have this information, and so your contact details and therefore the opportunities to get in touch with you later on. Since we are really about closing the session, I would like to check if there are any questions from the audience concerning these supporting funding schemes. Again, please be aware that all FRISTART partners are available locally to provide you support and technical assistance in knowing more about this instrument, these tools, these opportunities, and of course, all of us, we are engaged in getting beneficiaries in contacts, amongst them the KSB. So that's a cross-border project, so therefore one of the major objectives is to have a reinforced cooperation going on. So Andrea, if there is anything else technical information to provide our colleagues and experts with?
I think no. We can close the meeting, and of course we will download the registration and make it available on our YouTube channel.
Okay, so I would like to thank all of you, participant speakers, and most of all Andrea for the support during these days and before for setting up this tool. So the next meeting is tomorrow, the same time, 1:30 for the yachting sector. So we'll, of course, have potentially other participants, but please remember that these tools are all available for all selected 50 beneficiaries. So if you are interested in following also these presentations, you can of course attend. Oh, thanks a lot then, and have a nice day and nice continuation. Direi che possiamo.
Thank you.
Ciao Nicola.
Ciao, ciao.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Andrea, sei ancora, vero? No, forse no, sì.
Almost spento, scusa.
Ok. Sto vedendo che piano piano le persone